good and pleasant and to be desired, is it? Satan is so smart. But this is opening a huge Pandora's box. It really is. A box of great confusion. You see, some people, in the Bible you see some people, God said, this person will be childless. We now say science to the rescue. And science is promising us wonderful things, which they never deliver, of course. You know, recently the Israeli doctors, I think I mentioned this, there was a report that the Israeli doctors went on strike or work to rule. And the people in the cemetery noticed work dropped off. Less people died when the doctors were on work to rule or strike. What does that tell us? Well, when people are childless, maybe there will be a reason for it. I am not condemning anybody who is childless. I'm not saying that at all. But sometimes it might be better for the person to remain childless than get involved in a technology that you don't really know what is going on. You see, we have done a document called The Days of Noah Are Today. And there in Genesis chapter 6 it says, "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men," these are the fallen angels we're talking about here, "they saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they choose." And the relationship between the fallen angels and the women resulted in Nephilim. So we had Nephilim in the earth when the daughters of men bore children to the fallen angels. These were mighty men, these became mighty men of old, men of renown. Now, in Matthew it tells us that in the end times it's just going to be like in the days of Noah. So we can expect to see Nephilim again. We can expect to see fallen angels mating with women and producing these intellectual and even physical giants. But isn't it also a problem when we start mixing hybrid embryos, because we don't actually know what we're producing? You see what I'm saying? We believe that there already exist hybrid, as they call them, chimeras. You know, my feeling is that when they come and give us these little snippets of news, they are actually only telling us the tip of the iceberg of what is already in existence. And these are waiting to be unleashed upon the earth at this end time. We're going to have demonic forces unleashed. We're having the creatures come out of the bottomless pit, which are demons, or certainly demon type, fallen angel type creatures that won't be able to die. We have these half human, half animals in the pipeline. We have these half human, half angels in the pipeline. So you see, while the churches are there busily preaching rapture, we are more in line for a rupture than a rapture. The pastors need to be telling the people what's ahead. Because when this just gets unleashed, men's hearts will fail them for fear. That's what the Bible is telling us about. so horrific. And this is nothing to do with just the weather going berserk, earthquakes, hurricanes. We're seeing that now. We've had, in a matter of days, we have had two Category 5 hurricanes, one after the other. A very, very rare occurrence. And then we had a storm coming from the Pacific into Central America at the same time that Hurricane Felix was plowing up on the eastern coast of Central America. So you had one storm on the west coast and one storm on the east coast. These are perilous times. And these things, you shouldn't just pass them over and argue about it's not good. You see, the reason that they are giving, and this is how Satan is so smart. It's always a mix. See, it was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It wasn't evil. It was good and evil. And that's where the problem lies. There is sufficient good to trap you. Now, who wants to see anybody suffering from some of these horrific diseases? No one. Therefore, we will say, well, you know, if it's going to mean less suffering for those who have Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and this disease and that other disease, I think we better accept it. Mistake. Why are we sick in the first place? Well, there are many reasons. First of all, we are at the end of 6,000 years. So we are as degenerate as we can be. We have poisoned the air, we have poisoned the food, we have poisoned our minds. We're just messed up. A messed up creation. The Bible says that the whole creation is groaning as a woman waiting to give birth. That's where we are now. So what have we got to worry about? We have got to say, well, sickness comes because, as I said just now, of 6,000 years of degeneration. Maybe we have been rebellious. Maybe we have generational curses coming down the line that we know nothing about. You know, our great-grandfather was a Freemason, was involved in witchcraft or some such. Comes down to third and fourth generation. If you find that there's something like that in your family, immediately pray about it to break this curse. Ask God to break this curse. Don't run to any pastor and priest. They're not interested in that. Many of them don't even believe that anyway. But you start taking control of your life. So there's a reason, there's a cause. Okay? In Deuteronomy 28. In Deuteronomy 28, we have listed there a whole set of blessings and a whole set of curses. People think it just is the Old Testament, we can forget about it, it applies to Israel. They don't even know who Israel is anyway. Most people think that the Jews are Israel and there's a place down in Palestine calling itself Israel is Israel. What a lot of nonsense.